top 10 NFL greatest players of all time. Number 1.
Poor build, skinny, lacks great physical stature and strength, and gets knocked down easily.
That kind of gets me fired up. The hell do these people know?
Who is this guy? Dismissed, unknown, and underestimated. Clearly, they couldn't see him.
He looked me eye to eye and he said, "I'm the best decision this organization has ever made."
I always felt like once I get my shot, I'm gonna be ready.
Bledsoe taken out, and Brady has been put into quarterback.
Who is this guy? The one whose heart could not be measured. The one whose drive outshined the rest.
What Tom Brady just did gives me goosebumps. The Patriots are Super Bowl champions!
Who is this guy? The one who overcame the obstacles. The man who, when pressured and pinned, let it all loose.
We are not finished!
A genuine leader. The man who saw the very best in his peers, rallied them, and led them to the pinnacle. Time and time and time and time and time and time again. The man who holds more records than any other player in the NFL. The one who thought his best win was the next one. The leader, the anchor, the son, the father. He's kept us breathless, defining what it means to be a champion.
You're the greatest quarterback in the world, man.
And now, this. A legacy enshrined forever in the Patriot way.
I am a Patriot for life.
So, who is this guy?
He's Tom Brady, the greatest of all time, and we love him for it.
Number 2 on the greatest NFL players of all time comes in at Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice is one of those once-in-a-lifetime experiences that at the end of all of the conversation and all of the thrills and everything else, you still end up asking yourself, how can this be possible? This is one of those situations like Michael Jordan and Albert Einstein and John Coltrane, Jerry Rice. They're really all the same guy, and nobody to this day has figured out who any of them really are. We know what we see. We believe we understand what they have achieved.
He owns just about every receiving record on earth.
I look at Jerry Rice, and I am still in wonder. But I ask myself to this day, who is he really?
Coming in at number 3 on NFL's greatest players of all time, Joe Montana. They say clutch isn't a moment, it's a mindset.
It goes without saying that Joe Montana's athletic abilities were phenomenal. The hero you always wanted to emulate, and a legend to behold.
This is my first dream in my life, was to go to Notre Dame.
He just wasn't considered a top prospect.
They were also telling me I was too small coming out of college, so I was too light.
We had to find somebody that others weren't aware of or that we felt had more potential than other people did.
He's intelligent and has a certain amount of size.
He's got the quick release. He's going to be a fine full quarterback.
Montana lines up at the 5. And on 3rd down and 3, he rolls right, looking to throw. And he throws into the end zone. Touchdown!
When I let go, I thought I was arm lengths above his head. I didn't know how great of a catch it really was until we were in the locker room.
Montana throwing toward the end zone. Caught him up by Cooper. He's got it. He's in the end zone. A 49er touchdown. Calling his signals is Joe. He's going to sneak it. He's in. A 49er touchdown. And the 49ers have recovered a ball just short of the Bengals' 21-yard line. That might be it right there. And now their ultimate triumph of the year, beating the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals in the Super Bowl.
He'll do nothing but win and make somebody look bad.
He's able to play in the most difficult situations, totally relaxed, almost placid.
Montana crossback, short drop, fakes once. He's going to run it himself. He's in at the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers! Going back to pass on 3rd and 10 Montana. Caught by Craig on the way to the end zone. And Craig goes in for the score. Super Bowl 19 is in the record books. The 49ers have won it. Thrown perfectly to right. Touchdown 49ers. Montana steps up, throws. Touchdown 49ers.
Joe Montana, the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. 4 times in his professional life, he was number 1. I think that's the legacy.
Coming in at number 4 on the NFL's greatest players of all time, Lawrence Taylor, a.k.a. LT. He didn't just sack quarterbacks, he changed the game.
Okay, go ahead.
But we're talking about pass rushers. I mean, we got to start with Taylor, right?
He's changed the game of football because he's just so dominating.
Well, Lawrence Taylor is one of those guys that revolutionized the game.
Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs. Have some fun.
When you played against the Giants with Lawrence Taylor, you had to game plan for him.
Over pass. He's looking for King. Intercepted. He's going to go down the right side. He might go all the way. He's going to go in. Hot dog.
I felt I was like a man playing with boys. Killer instinct. I think you gotta love the love contact. You gotta have a love to hit. I mean, I like to hit.
Hey, we're a bunch of bad son of just play some ball.
I look for something extra. So what I try to do is bring the ball with them. Bring the ball with them, because it adds something to it. And now it's funny how around the league, everybody goes for the strip.
Coming in at number 5 on the NFL's greatest players of all time. It might seem crazy, but Patrick Mahomes.
A perfectly placed ball by Patrick Mahomes.
I'm not saying him. I give credit when it's due, but I'm not saying his name.
I'll tell you, you can't walk down the football field and hand the ball to Rice any better than he threw that thing.
I'm not saying his name, brother. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that guy's name.
And Mahomes put that one right on the screws.
He's good. He's amazing. He's good. Not gonna lie. I'm salty, though. I'm a little salty.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Hey, let's go be great, baby.
Many AFC rivals of Patrick Mahomes are bitter, and rightfully so. He's led the Chiefs to 6 straight AFC championship games and 4 of the last 5 Super Bowls.
Yeah! 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 Yeah!
The fact that he's already creeping into the Tom Brady conversation is incredible.
He's one of those game changers, you know. You take him out the game, everything else is right there in front of you. But if you can't take him out, he's going to pick you apart.
Mahomes, the fastest to get to 25,000 passing yards in National Football League history. It is one of the better throws by Mahomes in his career.
He's still that guy. You know, he still, commands that team. He's a leader of that team.
Hey, we got to bring up our intensity. Yeah. I'm going to tell you right now. Hey, we got to bring up our intensity. Hey, attitude, no let up. Hey, attitude, no let up. No let up at all. Let's go. It's our time.
He's doing it without top receivers who we thought, they get rid of Tyreek. How can they keep that offense going?
Mahomes is obviously still Mahomes. Like, he's godly and still crazy with his arm angles and stuff like that. Pat just different, man. Like, him being able to throw the way he throws and then be able to look the way he look and then move the way he move. It's like, bro, it's like so unorthodox. Like, you don't expect it.
Coming in at number 6 on the NFL's greatest players of all time. Primetime, Deion Sanders. Primetime didn't just play the game, he owned it.
Teammates, coaches, friends, the show has just begun.
Here he goes. Kiss him goodbye, baby. Time to boogie in the end zone.
When you look up the word corner in the dictionary, you should see my picture.
Come on, baby, with your sweet shit, baby.
Primetime always been cool as hell.
Nobody had the kind of swagger that Deion Sanders had.
This is my house, and this will always be my house.
Some things can't be taught, and that's one of them.
Deion Sanders made great athletes look average.
He was frightening. The greatest athlete I've ever been around.
He is the most exciting player I've seen.
He is the best that ever played this game.
He's great. He's sensational. He's Deion.
Coming in at number 7 on the NFL's greatest players of all time, Randy Moss. Randy Moss made the game look easy.
Minnesota Vikings have selected wide receiver from Marshall University, Randy Moss.
One of the things that made Randy Moss so special was he was a freak. He was tall, but not only that he was tall, he was fast.
And Moss cuts inside, breaks a tackle. He'll go into the end zone. 10-5, touchdown!
Legitimate guys that have legitimate numbers. I'll bet you he's in the top 5 in the fastest, the tallest, the highest leaping ability, and the best hands. That freakish combination of those 4, I don't think we've ever seen before.
Randy Moss! Touchdown! Randy Moss! Another spectacular catch by this incredible football player.
Sprint out by Johnson, deep down the left sideline for Moss. He juggles, he's got a touchdown! There are going to be nightmares for cornerbacks in the NFL. Comes out of the backfield, but the deep throw for Randy Moss. Touchdown! We've got a star on our hands in the NFL, Randy Moss.
At number 8 on the NFL's greatest players of all time, Walter Payton, aka Sweetness. Walter Payton ran with heart, proving greatness is built on effort and not just talent.
Once you put wisdom with will on top of talent, you get what you call sweetness.
Square those shoulders and boom!
You people in Chicago are spoiled. This guy you have down there is a phenomenon.
Haven't found anything he can't do.
He knew he was going to make that one play, that one big, gigantic leap. He just waited for it.
Peyton ricochets off Ronnie Lott.
No one performed with more class. He became the model.
Walter Payton shows why he should be the most expensive back in all of professional football. Phenomenal.
Chicago Bears, first-round selection. Walter Payton, running back, Jackson State.
I'd gotten a call, and it was Jim Finks. He asked me how would I like to play for the Bears. I said, it doesn't matter who I play for. I'm going to play as hard as I can.
The scouts knew about Walter, but the public didn't know about it. You know, everyone said, who's Walter Payton? Well, he wanted to show people who Walter Payton was.
Payton left the college ranks as the leading scorer in NCAA history, a gifted runner whose competitive nature is never damped. And as a rookie for Chicago in 1975, showed he was eager to take on the record books of the NFL. Payton led his team in rushing and scoring in 75, and showed his great running ability on kickoff returns when he captured the NFL return crowd. Now you've seen the type of men chosen to be Bears to build on.
If you couldn't make it with the team that you were drafted with, and then you had to go somewhere else, that was, to me, was a sign of failure.
He may get the corner turned, and he's in for the touchdown.
Coming in at number 9 on the NFL's greatest players of all time, Peyton Manning. Peyton didn't just read defenses, he rewrote the playbook.
Peyton, who's your favorite football player, man?
My dad.
You going to be a football player when you grow up?
Mm-hmm.
Peyton Manning always seemed born to be a quarterback.
When they started playing their little games, I taught him his three-step drop. He loved to show people his three-step drop.
Son of an NFL great and an All-American at Tennessee, Manning entered the NFL with great expectations.
The first pick of the draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Peyton Manning.
Peyton's always said, these teams that have the number 1 draft choice, there's a reason.
That's the 28th pick of a Peyton Manning pass.
So that first year, the Colts went 3-13. He'd say, Dad, nobody's open. They were open, but it's not like college. They're just open a split second. he worked hard. He worked hard. And the next year, they went 13-3.
Number 18's driving this machine like I've never seen.
You can see the confidence he had out there. He's guiding their team.
Manning became a force of nature, winning the NFL's MVP a record 5 times, and led the Colts to victory in Super Bowl 41.
The Colts are world champions!
In 2011, a neck injury threatened to end it all.
He couldn't throw. A lot of doubt whether he'd be able to play again.
Manning would play again, resurrecting his career in Denver, and retired owning almost every passing record.
There's the record, another one. He may have them all. Peyton Manning has now thrown for more yards in a single season than any other quarterback in NFL history.
He did play the position a little different than some. The no huddle,
Omaha!
audibles,
Sally Buffalo!
preparation was a huge part of Peyton's game. He had a belief that if I can out-prepare that other quarterback, learn something that in the fourth quarter will help us win this game.
In Manning's final game, he became the first quarterback to win a Super Bowl with 2 different franchises.
Never, ever underestimate Peyton Manning.
I didn't have any experience playing or winning Super Bowls. To have a child be able to do it is doggone special. He feels so blessed.
Off the field, he walks one last time.
And coming in at number 10 on NFL's greatest players of all time, Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders didn't follow the game, he danced around it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like at this time to introduce to you one of the finest running backs in the United States of America, our number 1 pick, Barry Sanders.
The young Heisman Trophy winner was eager to restore the roar in the Detroit Lions. Knowing the fullness of his career, one might expect Sanders to rush for 71 yards and a touchdown in his NFL debut, though the chance came as a bit of a surprise.
I guess around the latter part of that first game, sitting there watching against the Cardinals, I wasn't necessarily supposed to play in the game, but I suited out for it. One of the coaches, I think it was Coach Dave Levy, must have asked me, do I want to go in the game?
11-yard gain and waiting in the wings on the sideline is Barry Sanders. He's coming up in bunts. You'll hear the cheer.
The crowd's getting restless and they want to see Barry. Part of me is I want to see the show. I want him to play. Bob Galliano might have said that when he went into the game, he said, man, I don't even know the plays. He said, I'll just give you the ball and you run.
And he showed me a few plays on the sideline, and fortunately it was a running play.
Here's Sanders with his first carry. Listen to him.
First run, guys, the legend was on its way. Started rolling, scored a touchdown on a little toss around him. Nobody could touch him.
Sanders, touchdown! It has been years since the Detroit crowd has been this excited about the Lions, and Barry Sanders has given them a shot in the arm.
The fact that I was officially here playing, it was a thrill. And playing running back in NFL, it was so thrilling and exciting, and just fun.
The place goes nuts. The Lions lose the game, but all anybody could remember was Barry Sanders. The greatest running show in the history of pro football had started right at that moment.